Happy New Year! In this video, I'll be sharing with you my 2025 income as a 41-year-old retiree living in Singapore. I have classified my income into 4 different sources, and let's take a look at them. The first source of income, I'll classify it as online hustles. This refers to income from putting up my work at online platforms. The platforms that I earn the most from would be Udemy, followed by Gumroad. I also have insignificant income from other platforms. So I have been an Udemy instructor since December 2020. You can check out my video here to find out more about my journey. So I earn around a few $100 or $200 per month from Udemy. Okay, and this is my largest source of online income. I also earned money from Gumroad, but the sales from my Gumroad shop is very sporadic. So in 2025, I only made a single sale, which is represented by this pink spike here. Okay, and before fees, the Stripe fees and the Gumroad fees, I earned $155.29. I also have income from other sources, okay, on the online platforms, but they are insignificant. So examples would include Bandcamp, where I earned $1 last year. Teachers Pay Teachers, where I sold maybe 1 or 2 products for just a couple of dollars. Draft to Digital, okay, where I earn royalties for books published on this platform. So for some of these platforms, right, I did not cash out because I have not met the minimum threshold. Like for example, Draft to Digital requires a minimum amount of $10 in my balance before I get my deposit, I get my royalty. Okay, another platform that I also earned from is Amazon KDP. So apart from Udemy and Gumroad, the amount received from the other platforms are relatively low and insignificant, but I add them all up, and in 2025, all these online hustles earned me $3,061.10 in Sing dollars. So this amount, right, I've already deducted the platform fees or the PayPal fees, the Stripe fees, okay, and this is the amount that is deposited into my Singapore bank account after deducting for all these fees. So online hustles made up 5.4% of my total income in 2025. Next up, let's look at my second source of income in 2025, which is interest from banks. So I deposit money in higher interest accounts, and they do give some interest. Okay, and my largest source of interest comes from the UOB One account. I also have a bit here and there from other accounts like the DBS multiplier, which I really like because I do not need to do much and I get paid. So something about the DBS multiplier, if you earn dividends from stocks, it is also counted as income. So which is a very big plus point for me because I do not have income from work. So by recognizing the income from dividends as my income, I do get to earn, or I do get recognized for the income category for the DBS multiplier. Then there are also other accounts that I use, like the OCBC Bonus Plus Savings as well as the GXS Savings accounts. I don't really optimize them. So apart from my UOB One account, I just collect the interest when I qualify for them for these other accounts. But I'm buffing up cash from last year from end of last year to this year because I'm purchasing a property. I'll talk more about that when everything is finalized. So that's it. So for the interest from banks, in total, I earned $5,010 in 2025, which accounts to 8.9%. I am very, very certain that the interest from bank will drop drastically this year since interest rate is dropping. Okay, but I'm not worried about that because I am quite confident that I will have enough cash from other sources to make up for the loss in this interest. Anyway, interest from banks is something that we probably would never think about before 2021 when interest rate was super low. So it is just going back to what it was. Okay, so with that being said, let's take a look at my third source of income, which is interest from bonds. Let's take a look at the bonds. I've divided the bonds that I hold into two categories. The first one are the government bonds, and this will include the Singapore saving bonds, where I have invested the maximum amount allowed for individuals, which is 200,000 Sing dollars. I also have some SGS bonds, which I bought long ago before the interest rate becomes better for the Singapore saving bonds. In general, my SSB or Singapore saving bonds interest rate is around 3%, and my SGS bonds interest rates can be around 2%. Okay. All in all, I earned $6,906.72 from government bonds. Another category of bonds that I invest in are the retail bonds. These bonds are also sold in the stock exchange. So I hold the various Astros, the Astro 6, the Astro 7A and 7B, and as well as the Astro 8B. In addition, I also hold the Fraser Treasury bonds. And in total, in 2025, I earned $8,994.07 from these retail bonds. And so, in total, for interest from bonds, I earned a total of $15,979 in 2025, and this accounts for slightly more than a quarter of my total income in 2025, or 28.1% of my total income. Next, let's take a look at my fourth source of income, okay, which is also my biggest source of income, accounting for more than 50% of my total income from last year. And these are dividends from stocks. So if you look at dividends from stocks, I would break them down into these categories here. So let me zoom this out and talk more about these. So these are the breakdown of the dividends that I earn from various stocks. I'll categorize them into 5 parts. The first one being ETFs. So basically, I only invest in the Singapore Stock Exchange. Okay. And there are quite a number of reasons for this. One of it is because I'm based in Singapore. So I do want most of my stocks or my holdings as well as my income to be in SGD, okay, which is what I'm spending. Also, there's also a second reason, also to spread out the risks, because I do have a spouse who is more who has more holdings on the US side. So I think it is prudent for me to hold them in SGD from a risk standpoint. Okay, but apart from that, let's come back to this pie chart here. So ETFs here accounts for 27.4% of my total dividends received in 2025, and these ETFs are basically just the STI ETFs. So there are 2 on the stock exchange. One is the SPDR, one is the MOVA. I hope I pronounced it correctly. Okay, and they are both on the STI ETFs. Okay, next up, okay, is REITs. So I buy a variety of REITs. If you're interested in my individual income from the different REITs, do check out my income report, my monthly income report, and you will see a breakdown of the income from the different REITs at different months. Okay, and the dividends from the REITs account for the largest amount of my dividend income at 32.3%. Banks also give me a significant amount of dividends. So I invest in all the three major banks in Singapore. So I hold the UOB, DBS, and OCBC stocks, and they do pay dividends. Right now it's roughly around 5+% dividend yield. Okay, and they account for 28.8% of my total dividend received. Okay, I also receive dividends from infrastructure stocks. I'm not sure whether this is a correct category. So for the telecoms like Singtel and StarHub, as well as SBS Transit, okay, I classify them as infrastructure. Yeah. Okay, finally, others refers to the non-banks and non-infrastructures, ETFs or REITs. And basically these others refers to the PEC, which is already has been privatized. Okay, so I won't receive any other dividends from PEC in time to come, as well as the Kingsman stock that I hold, and they account for 0.6% of total dividends received. So all in all, from the dividends from stocks, I received a total of $32,515.79, or 57.6% of total income received in 2025. So with that, let's take a look at the grand total. So my total income for 2025 is, drum roll please, $56,487.83.